Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Missouri River Bottoms, where we're going to embark on another 2 hours of work here getting things done. Now, we've got 9RX all set up. It had finished in the field over the road, and we're going to get this running in this one on some tillage. We're going to set it up on a shared course because the case quad track just down the way on the other side of these fields is just about finished. We've pressed play, pressed go, got everything all up and running. So we've got the two Nexats running in this field. They've got about 35 to 40 minutes of harvesting left, and then over in this field here we've got the 3 John Deere combines all still running, and they've got about 55 to 60 minutes. So we're actually going to get through all of this corn in today's episode. Now I'll go up and get this all set up and going, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about what to do next. Now trucks are moving. Just let that one go past us, don't want to get run over. They've got, well, they both are about 80% full, so I figured we might as well send them off to do something, and they can go and unload, so at least we're not waiting around for those if and when they need it. So let's jump up in here, get up into this beast. It is a big tractor, and we'll look about getting it all set up. Now actually, one thing I haven't done yet is repower this, so let's just go through. It's only the 540. Let's see if we can repower it now. So using the little mobile workshop, we can tab through there to the 640, which is going to take it from 594 up into 691, so just under another 100 horsepower there for this, which is going to make a big difference. So we'll go through, we will customize that at $80,000, but that doesn't matter as too much because we've got plenty of money and we're not worrying about that too much. We're not too precious. You go see the other truck on the way back. So we'll hop up into here, get the that's going to have disconnected. Yeah, it has. Get that re-hooked up and get this all up and going. So we've got everything set up again on these. We've got multiple tools, 3 headlands. We're doing just up and down, skipping a row. Pretty much everything we've done. We should be starting off on the center field. Where is that one? Make sure I find that one, double check. Start work on center, so we'll do the headlands last. So that should be good to go. Generate a fieldwork course for this and see what ends up coming out. And there we go, that looks about as right as it could be. Look at all these courses running around all over there. You can see the quad track running in that one. That's for our combines, Nexats. And of course this field here, which we are in. So hop back out of there. Another truck going its way past. We're just going to go to first waypoint for this. This can be our left-hand side worker. And we'll press play and it should head on over and get up and started. Not too much drama, so I'm not actually sure where the first waypoint is. Is it on this side somewhere close, or is it going to head all the way over the other side of the field? Might be going and starting all the way over on the other side of the field, but that's fine. We'll let that go and do its thing, and then I think we will go down and see if the quad track's finished, because it can't be too far away from being done. It's actually saying there it's got another 14 minutes. It's actually only got one headland lap left to do. So what I'm intrigued now, if that's saying 14 minutes, I'm going to stop that. I am going to jump in here and we're going to manually run this. It's 10:31, so if running it on course play, it would be finished at 10:45, but I reckon we're going to get this finished ourselves manually a whole lot quicker, mainly just on the turning on either end, but we will go through and see how we end up. Of course, we do need to make sure we don't miss any bits, and there's a few little sections here on headlands, although this one's only got sort of this narrow headland at this end and one at the other end, so hopefully we're not going to run into too much trouble with that, tidying it up at the end. But there we go. We are starting on the last headland pass, so it reckons it was going to be 15 minutes to go around the field once. It's a pretty big field. Right, quick little time lapse here of us running. Hopefully things keep on moving with the combines. If not, we may have to jump over. Do see we're getting a little warning there of something needing unloading. Fingers crossed we'll see that disappear soon, and that will signify that a grain cart has got to the right place and doing the right job. But let's get this field finished off and get us moved down into the next one. we did do it quicker, 10:43, so, well, 10:42 I think it was when we got down this end, so a couple of minutes quicker, but of course we do have some bits to go around and tidy up, as you would have seen on the way around. For whatever reason, I need to check if there's a setting about whether we're lifting implements too early rather than late, which is resulting in us ending up with bits being missed. I'm not sure what that is. We've also got some objects blocked, or a couple of tractors blocked or something like that, so we need to go figure out what the issue with that is. So yeah, we'll just have to go and figure it out. In fact, I can see it already. It's two combines over there that look like they're trying to go head to head, which is not ideal. Anyhow, let's focus on this at the moment to get this finished off, and then we'll go over and sort out those combines. Is anyone else seeing what I'm seeing in the field just there, or am I just being a little bit childish? So yeah, rather unfortunate shape to have left over as we're going through and tidying this up. We're getting a slightly bigger one there too, but there we go. That's, I think, everything's done. There's just a couple of bits, maybe one bit up there. We won't worry about that. I think that's good enough, because I'm mindful that this combine here is going to end up a long way ahead of the others if I don't go and sort those out. So let's just lift this up. We will send this down to the field. Hopefully we can get past the two trucks and go and make a start. Remember which field it is, but we'll sort that out and get those down there, get the combines moving. Alright, combine's back up and moving, and we're down here with the quad track now. You can see the John Deere and the 9RX is making its way across the field. What's going to be interesting is that the quad track, technically I don't think should catch up now, because if all is correct, then the 9RX should now be a whole lot faster with that extra 100 horsepower. In fact, they're probably actually very close to horsepower equal, I think, but I'm not sure now which side this one's meant to be on. We'll just double check the quad track. In fact, we'll probably be able to figure it out from doing the course. Let's have a look first. So we come in here, we're just copying the course across here for this one. Clear our course first. Of course, then makes the green dot. We can copy it. Now if I just turn this on, so it looks like that is the left and that is the right. Perfect, we can sort that out. And we'll hit first waypoint. And what's saying 5319 of 604. There we go. It's picked up the right one now, and it's going to get up and underway. Happy days. Right. Let's see how things go. I'm mindful as well that these are getting a little bit low on diesel, but not too far. But before we go any further, I'm going to go look at the combines, check on all of those. But let's have a look at the map and see how we're progressing with things. Well, it looks to me like the Nexats are just about finished. They're probably on their last pass or last land. These combines here, they're going to have a little bit extra to do up here. I think this land's going to kind of cut this bit in and out, as you can kind of see where they're working. And then it should be back into it. So yeah, I mean, it's going all right, isn't it? How much corn have we got so far? 236,000 litres of corn in storage. We ended up for, I'm not sure if I mentioned it last time, just under 800,000 litres of soybeans. So potential value of that. Have a look here. I need to get some time-saving stock check in here. I thought I did. But $800,000 there if we sold them at 101 point, what's that, $1,200? That's not bad. Not bad at all. We certainly wouldn't complain about that value. Right. I suppose you need to earn a decent amount of money off these big fields to be able to run these big bits of equipment anyhow. Right, let's go and check on those combines, see how things are going. So there we go. As I said, the Nexats are looking pretty good. This one's 60% full. Just tab across here to the other one, 76%. So should be going to get unloaded soon. I do just wonder whether that grain cart's going to be stuck now waiting for the truck. So we might just go give that a press to get it moving so it can come and unload one of these Nexats, or we're going to end up with no capacity. And there we go. Actually, we're not in a very good position with that because that is quite full. But let's just press play and get it moving again just to go and unload what it can out of one of the combines. Again, we talked about it last week. If you didn't watch the last episode, go and check that out. But we did talk about how the truck position, you should really have the auger wagon and the truck facing in the opposite direction. So yeah, just mindful of that as well. Anyhow, jump across the road and go and check it on the other combines. So here we go, this is the left combine, and it has managed to get basically a whole land pass ahead. It's run down, up and down on that centre pass that you can see there, and then it's gone around the edge and running down this one. So those combines must be just coming down. I can see the crop disappearing, but no header yet, but they will get rid of those. What are we down to? Time left on this? Only 20 minutes. It's not too much longer till these are all going to be finished. What have we been going for so far on our recording? We're sitting at 26 minutes. So yeah, it's going to work out about right, about an hour or so to get everything tidied up in here. Now just thinking about some future tasks we are going to have to do, and taking a look here at the map. So you can see all our fields here pretty much through the middle, fertilized. Well, these ones are. You can see actually all those blue dots that we lost through the drier conditions, but everything's pretty much in good nick there. But we're going to have to go through and do that. Needing ploughing, well, the cornfields as we'd expect, the soybean field here, but that is being done at the moment. And then the cornfields over there, so we're going to have to keep on top of that. But this is where all of the work lies. We have a lot of land that is going to need some lime. So that might be something we can get into very, very soon. Figure out the best way to do that. Rolling, we don't have to worry about rolling. Mulching, we do actually have to get in and mulch these cornfields, not the soybean fields. And watered, we don't have to worry about because we don't have any rice. So that really, getting that lime done is the next task. So it might be something we look at doing potentially once the corn here's finished, because like I said, I've got some other plans for these fields over here, 17 and 16, with the corn in those. Just have a look there. And it might involve a couple of forage harvesters and some course plan auto drive running those, which might be something we set up if we run out of time here today, or if we run out of harvesting and tasks to do, is getting things set up for that. But lime in these fields is going to be the first task. So with that all in mind, let's follow along with the combine here for a little bit more of a time lapse, and we'll see you probably when this field is all finished, pending no big issues, errors, or anything we need to go and intervene with. Right, well it seems we might have a grain cart hold up, and I think I know what's going to have happened. The truck's going to have left, the grain cart's going to be in the wrong spot, so let's go and have a look and see if that's the issue. There we go, pretty much the truck was full and has departed. I'm just wondering, is this the truck coming back though? We might just let it empty out if that is the case. I was kind of distracted, I wasn't paying attention. It is the truck coming back here, so hopefully, although it's going to run all the way down the end and come and empty out. We will let it do that because otherwise we're going to head this off and it's only going to take one combine load, and it's got I think 3 sitting out there ready to be unloaded. So yeah, we'll just wait for that to get back here. Now one thing I could actually do, and I'm going to go jump in the other truck and just demonstrate what we could do to fix this issue. So here you go, this is a good example actually, because I think that 41,000 litres is pretty much a full grain cart. So what we could do, go into settings under here, and I'm pretty sure unload fill limit. So we could go down and bump that down to 70 and apply. And that would mean that when it gets to 70% full, or completely full, it's going to go off and unload. So that would mean the truck's going to rotate basically once per grain cart rather than sit there waiting to get filled. Again, like I said, not ideal because it means your truck's going to be running more, but when we're this close to the yard, it's not actually too much of an issue, and in the long run, it's actually going to help out. So yeah, there's a few ways and things to think about to help get around the issues caused by things like the load levels and the way the truck's facing and all sorts of other bits and pieces. But anyhow, here we go. Good chance to get down here and see how the 2 tractors are going in here, getting the ploughing done. Good progress going on, that's for sure. Well, here comes the truck back now. This grain cart's not full, and we haven't actually changed this truck to alter the capacity, but it's not actually going to be a bad issue on this time, because what it should do is get in here under the trigger and see. Of course it won't, because this is our problem with the triggers. Right, let's just turn this off. We sat here all this time waiting for it, and we would have actually been better off getting this into the position. Right, there we go. Back up into here. Get this unloaded. Yes, I forgot that we wouldn't be in the right spot for it to find its way down here. We would have been having to move. There we go. Fire that into the once that front hopper's full, go back just a touch, get that back hopper done. Here goes our 79% truck on its way. Now that's near enough, isn't it? 807 litres. Right, let's press play, let this one head off and go and get the combines unloaded. We'll ride along here and see how things work. Well, it got to this combine eventually. It took a wee while and a little bit of a detour and going and unloading another one, but here we are. That should be everything all back up and running. Has obviously dragged out our time, remaining quite some time, although the lead combine's still often doing its thing. It's these ones here, particularly this one here. It has to sit stationary and idle there that whole time, which is probably going to be the biggest issue, but not too bad. Things are moving, things are moving. Right, I'm pretty sure, looking over the fence, the next sets must be very, very close to being finished, so let's go and take a look at that. Right, well indeed, they are very close to being finished. In fact, I think our lead one down there is going to be finished in just a minute. But we do have one sitting there 100% full, and a grain cart sitting here 100% full and not running any further because of where the truck was positioned. Once again, frustrating little error. I just have to be better about it next time. That's all there is to it. But I know the issue, and I know what we need to do to fix it. It just becomes that babysitting, right? It is what it is. Anyhow, see the first next set up there is going to pop up and just about be done. And here we go. I think August should go out. This thing needs to be unloaded, which I think signifies that it is done. But there we are. I reckon that's it. So what we might actually do for this, I'm going to go in here. 0 seconds left. Pop that up. So let's just have a look. If we were to compare lead combines, I'm pretty sure that's the lead one there. We've got these two going this way. Let's just have a look how much time there is left on this. Only 7 minutes. So all in all, the time was not too much different between the two. Now, I'm sure it would have been different if we were actually monitoring and keeping them moving as efficiently as possible, but that's pretty comparable really. Now where it becomes a bit different is when you look at field sizes and field shapes to some extent. This one's 100 acres, which the two next sets have harvested faster than the 81 acres over here that the 3 combines have been working in. So while the timing and the finishing is going to be very close, the actual time is quite different just because of that. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. A couple of next sets can cover quite a bit of ground when you're trying to. Let's see if we can get down here before this grain cart drives away and get this one unloaded in there. Oh, is it going to move? Hopefully it's going to stay there. Here we go. Fingers crossed it doesn't want to move just because it is now finished unloading into the one that's still running. Looks like we're okay there. So we get this unloaded and then we've just got the one there to go. In fact, we're not even going to get this unloaded because that is the grain cart full. So what we might actually do, cheekily, we're just going to dump this over into the combine, the truck on the other side of the road. Can't see our other truck is on its way down. Although they know that'll be running full actually, just thinking about the state it was in. So just manoeuvred in here. Not quite perfect, but it'll do. It's in the right spot and it's unloading. Here we go. Right, that one done. All get in and out of the way. Truck's going. And there we go. First of the next set's all finished with. There we go, field all done with the next sets. I'll just come in and turn this one off and go and get it unloaded, finished off, and that is this field done. So 99 acres done. A little under what? Well, if we're going about an hour, and it probably we were going for an hour and a half, so 2.5 hours on that. I reckon we could have got that down even quicker in there. But what's that? 40 acres an acre, 40 acres an hour. 20 acres per combine or per next set. Yeah, I reckon we could have done it faster, but it is what it is, right? Anyhow, let's go and get this unfolded. Now, I do have one little task I'm going to go and do. There is a skinny little field just down next to the yard that I'm going to go and just quickly chop out too, because I don't think it's going to be worth doing that with either course play, auto drive, or anything else. So we'll use one of these while we've got them set up here. So here we are, just this little field in here for whatever reason. In fact, I've kind of got a plan for what we might use this space for. But anyhow, let's just get things turned on. Heater lowered down. Looks like it already is. And what are we going to do this in 2 passes? No, we haven't lowered the heater down. Come on, Rocky. There we go. Make sure we're on the right tool. Yeah, lowered down. But such is this beast. We are going to clear this little section in here in those 2 passes. Hardly worth having as a field, but it is what it is. We'll get it done. There we go, 2 passes, and it's finished. 5,000 litres though, so it's not a completely worthless exercise. Right, turn things off there. Now we do need to get the header folded up. Do all that. Can't fold the rest of it up because of course we do still have corn sitting in there, but we'll push this over here. In fact, we might. I wonder if we can catch that truck on the way out. We can catch that tree, that's for sure. But I just see that truck that's just pulling in, so we might even see if we can just unload into that on the way past here. And there we go, that is us all emptied out, corn's in the back of the truck, and that will get delivered into the silo. So that's all done. Let's just make sure we're on the right position, get this all folded up into the transport mode, park it out of the way. So that's this field all finished. Grain cart is empty and truck must be on its way down to unload, so we'll make sure we intercept that before it comes back, because job's all done here for this. Now what we're going to do, we've still got another hour to go, so we're just halfway through today's episode recording things. What I'm going to go down and do is get this hooked up to the lime spreader. We're going to see if we can set up a course. There is a lime, I think there's a lime buy point, there's a buy point or a multi silo just down here with the auger next to that liquid tank you can see in front of us. So what I'm going to find out, firstly, can we fill into that with the lime spreader? And if we can, we're going to set up an auto drive course where we should be able to get the lime spreader to drive down, fill up, and then head off to spread on the fields, and not actually have to reload or do anything ourselves, which would be nice because there is a lot of lime to get spread. So we'll find somewhere to park this grain cart. I'm just thinking we're going to end up with a bit of a dumping ground if we're not careful, but let's just, in fact, we'll go back it up out here next to all of this stuff, and then we'll go and grab the lime spreader, which is sitting in the shed here, and go and make a start and see what we can figure out. So first things first, just to test whether we can use these silos, this buy point trigger in here, to fill up our lime spreader. So we've got a bit of an occluder or something going in here, which has killed our audio. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. Happens when you get close to buildings. We just back in, hopefully get in under the trigger in the right spot. There we go. Now, if we hit our R button, options solid fertilizer and lime. So that's good. That's a good start. So we can fill up from this. So what I'm going to do is actually going to stop that filling up there, not turn the engine off. Stop that from filling up by closing the cover. And we're going to go through and record a little auto drive course. And I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. We could try and do a backing one, where it backs in under that trigger. Maybe we'll give that a go and see if we can work that out. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a turnaround one that goes down and around the grain, around that liquid tank behind the fuel tank, just basically down the left hand side there, and does that. So let's have a look if we can get this working. So first things first, we've just started the course here off this little point. We're doing it as a secondary course, so obviously it's only going to be driven if something needs to come down here and use it. So in here, and what we're going to do, we'll open our cover up to make sure we get into the right spot. Basically just come out here to maybe there. Now I'm going to go into reverse, and this should automatically start recording a reversing course. You can see it kind of went to a waypoint down there with the lime spreader, and we need to make sure we get far enough back that it will fill up without colliding with anything. We're going to go as far back as we can. Right, and there we go. Now let's drive forward because we want to get out of this. Now I think we need to put our label on the very back point just to make it far enough back, but we'll figure that out. We can of course always fine tune the course if and when we need to, but let's head down this way. Now I want to make sure I pick this up on a route. I might just attach it to this one right in front of us. Might just adjust that just a touch, attach that there, and move that. Now what we're going to do, stop recording that, is we actually need to have a point where we turn from here down to there. Now one thing we can actually do, we just come forward a little bit, is we can come in here, we can grab a hold of this point, click on this point, and if we hold down control, I think it is, there we go. You can see it's curving, so you get that sort of straight through in the curve, and it's going to go through and put that course basically where we want it. So if we click on that, now we get those green points. We've just basically done a sort of right hand curve and then a left hand curve to get that going in the right spot. So that should be okay for that. Now if we just go around, we're going to go and put our label down there on the end of this course. Call that the, what are we going to call that? Fertilizer silo, lime silo, it doesn't really matter what it is, but that's our label there. Let's call it Fert Silo Fill. And go okay. Now what we're going to try and do is actually run this course and see if it's going to work. So we'll come down here onto a point where it's going to start from and see what happens. I've just noticed all those warnings we're getting up there up the top, which I'm just going to ignore for the time being. But let's go through our course options. So we want to fill up, which is that one there, I think. So what we're going to be doing, just have a look at the map. Let's say we want to start, and we might as well just start here on field 22. We've got a waypoint, field 22 truckload. So what we're going to do is come in here, and we'll come down to our field 22 truckload. We want to fill up at our dirt silo fill, which is that one there, and we're wanting to put lime in. Now, what we should be able to do, press play with this, and it's already said it's going to go to the dirt silo fill point. So taking our secondary path, which is positive. It's detected the silo because we've got a long distance in front of us, and it's going to follow this course, and fingers crossed it's going to back in properly. Now, one thing that we might have to fix, we can drag the top of the curve, this point up here right at the end, drag that forward and further away just to try and help it maneuver. Often, as you can see, courseplay is kind of cutting, auto drive's kind of cutting the corner just a touch, and it can be a little bit hard for it to maneuver. Yeah, see, it didn't go quite as straight as I did, but actually doing a pretty decent job there of getting turned and getting back in the right direction. Hopefully get further across. Here we go, it's going to collide into it. It is. Drats. There's our issue. Okay, I think dragging that just a little bit further out at the top would have fixed that issue. So we'll just drive out, redo that, and send it off again just to see if it helps. Here we go, take two. I've got the auger back in position. I actually raised it up. I didn't realise it had some more stretch in it. So fingers crossed that's going to help, as well as stretching out the course there. Of course we've stretched out the course. So hopefully now the tractor will kind of go straighter up there to get things aligned a little bit better before it starts trying to back in. But as you saw, it did do a pretty good job at following, but this one sort of much gentler curve. So let's just have a look here. It's backed into the right spot. 3, 2, 1. Now this is probably going to be our problem because I don't think it's going to pick that up as a trigger. Is that our issue? Or is it detecting a collision and hasn't got to the trigger? So there we go, that's working. Obviously it's dragging it out of that, but it might be just the fact it's not a trigger. I'm not sure what that issue is. It's frustrating. Right, one way around this. We could of course put down a fillable lime tank, however it only has a 60,000 litre capacity, so really not going to be worth it for the hassle. So we might have a look and see if there's a mod where we can have a buy station, maybe 82 Studios multi-fruit buy station, or something like that we can put down to get this to work. So that can be something maybe for next time, I'm not sure. We'll see how we go. I'm just trying to figure out if there's another reason. In fact, if anyone knows why, or if there's a way you can get wagons like this to fill up via an auger, I'm sure, I feel like I've had it done or had it working before. I'm just not quite sure why it might not have worked that time. So anyhow, once it's full, it should now drive off to field 22 following that course we just created. Let's just see. Here we go, straight across there and back down that way. It's going to reconnect up with where it needs to go. It's one that goes into the grain auger. That's frustrating. Okay, we'll tidy that up and get it going down to the right spot. So we've made it now to field 22 waypoint. Once again, I've got that weird bug where we don't get audio. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with the occluder there with the buildings. Anyhow, it does only happen around yards, and it happens in base game as well, so not sure exactly what it is. But anyhow, now that we've got to this point, this is where we can use this courseplay button. If we're running courseplay, have a course set up, we can get that to work. So let's just set up a course here. We're not really going to see it work properly, but what it would do when it's finished and empty, it'll come over, find this trigger point, and then it'll follow this kind of course back out. Once again, it's not an ideal course because it doesn't go back down the right way, so we're just going to come in here and create a bit of a curve that way, so that does turn right round and go back out there, and hook everything up. Otherwise it's going to try and go around for the grain car, for the route into the silos. So anyhow, let's get our courseplay set up and going. So we've now got a course set up, as you can see there. Spin around, lose our audio, but you can see that across the field. So I've just backed up just a touch, because what I want to do is press that courseplay button. I've got that set to first waypoint, and what we're now going to see is, hopefully, press that. It's going to drive along, get to field 22 truckload. Once it gets to that point, it should now switch over to courseplay. There we go, we see the green dot, and it's picked up the field, and hopefully It's going to just get turned around to figure out the best way to get into a position to start at the first waypoint. Now that first waypoint was kind of behind this point. You see there, so to get out to it, it's had to go out and maneuver around and get into that right spot, but there we go. That's the lime spreading pretty much all set up. Now the beauty of this is you can of course create the course without actually being next to the field, so I could go through once this one's finished. I could create a course on any one of these fields and it will go and do the lime spreading on its own. Now I know I thought we were going to have an issue with the headers there. I've got this set up to do a square corners just to make the most of it. It's a bit slower, not the most efficient way to do it, but it'll make it look better in the end. So basically that is a quick way. Felt quick. Spent a bit of time explaining it, but that is how you can use course plane auto drive. It's basically automated process, lime spreading, which can be a bit menial, mundane, boring, and move it into a slightly quicker methodology or completely automated altogether. So the only thing we have to work on is figuring out a better way to fill the lime spreader. So while we've been mucking around with all of that, these combines are all finished up to the far combine there and actually unloaded into the top of this one. So that's why it's all folded up, ready to go. First combine, it's been finished for a while, but we're just down here and getting these ones all emptied out. So once again, that's all our combining finished, and everything can be tidied up, put away, and stored until next time. Make sure it's all ready to go for next season. But yeah, like I said, it's us all done. So we'll send this grain cart back down. I did have to intervene. It was trying to drive into the auger for the right hand combine. Obviously it couldn't do that because it was unloading, but yeah, there we go. It's all happening. So flick this onto that mode. I'll figure out, tell it to go back to the edge of the field. That should do that. Let's get these combines back over there as well and get them tidied up. No more moving pieces going on down here still. The John Deere needs some fuel, so we'll get down and get that filled up. Hopefully we're going to be able to do that. We've got rid of that keybind with the irrigation from the realistic weather mod. Unfortunately the John Deere was far enough ahead of the quad track here, so it hasn't actually caught up. Must have only just got low on fuel. So let's get on down here and get that back up and moving. Look at that. Looks like we're working. This is doing some overfilling. I'm hoping it's going into the tractor. Should be. Let's jump into there and have a look. Yeah, and there we go. See the diesel level is going up. So that is all working now, which is much better. Happy with that. Right. Get this filled up and back up and moving. And we'll go over and see how that lime spreading's going. And there we go, back up and running. Now one thing I just actually learnt while I was doing that, because I wanted to know what else needed refueling. So if you actually come up and hover over here, it actually tells you what needs refueling. S7900, so one of the combines does. One of the other combines is blocked. We'll go and sort that out. I know what that is. I cheated a little bit in how I got them back down to the field by telling them to go to the first waypoint. So they're probably trying to harvest again, which, there we go, you can see them. I need to go and stop that. Right, let's go and fix that too. Look at that. I was just getting back here in time to see the lime spreader has managed to get back in there and filled up. So trigger's working. This isn't going to work. We'll get these combines all worked out, but I'm excited about that. That's fantastic. Alright, well that's a bit of a lineup back here. Be interesting to see what's going to happen. We've got the tractor coming back in. I've seen this bug before. I haven't experienced it myself, but I've heard of others talking about it where you can still see the spray effect on it when it's folded up. Now, again, beggars believe sometimes where these are going, but he's going to run all the way down the other end of the field, other end of the map, to then come and turn around. But that's alright, so long as he gets back down here and can fill up into that, that is all I ask. This is probably all going to be in the way, so we better get this all moved out of the way so they can get in here and turn around. There's our fuel trailer come back as well, so we'll go and grab that. So a bit of tidying up for the next wee while, and then we'll look at getting a few things ready for next time. Right, so we've tidied things up a little bit, and I just thought I'd come down and watch this. As much as I want to ignore the continuous spreading that's going on, it's happening. So let's actually jump out here. I'm just mindful, does it actually start? Well, see, this is the vagaries. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It filled up last time, but for whatever reason it hasn't come down and filled up this time. Whether it's got something to do with that spreading that's still happening, I'm not going to be able to stop that either because that's on auto drive. But yeah, that's weird. Don't know what's going on. Well, there we go, refilling it, stopped it. But yeah, that's a strange one. I don't know what caused that, and also don't know why it didn't actually start filling on the trigger either. Vagaries of it all. We got one filling and didn't get the next one, so Yeah, you just can't figure it out sometimes. Anyhow, let's get this back off and into the field. We're chewing through lime though, because that's the third load that's gone into that one field, and this is not even a big field. So we'll just press play again there, and hopefully it's going to get back to the right point. Go to the last waypoint. Hopefully it'll figure it out and go back down where it needs to be. Haven't even done the headlands. Third load. Whew. Maybe we won't lime the whole farm. It could take some time. So as I said, we're going to sort a few things out for the next episode. Now we've got these two cornfields over here, and basically what we're going to do is we are going to chop those and make some silage and see if we can get everything set up and running with that. Having a forage harvester, some auger or forage wagons. Oh, there goes the plane. But yeah, if we can get a forage harvester, some forage wagons, and some compaction going on in a silo or a couple of silos, that'd be great. Now, just looking at the map here, I've got 17 here, which is 50 acres, and 16 over there, which is 80 acres. So they're not small fields. They're not small fields at all. But what we do need to do is put down a couple of silos. And I was thinking about using these big ones here. I think they take a couple of million litres. And part of the reason I was excited about clearing this little area out was actually to use this spot here. I was either going to do them in here, which kind of made sense. This is, it's not really used. You could plough that field and join it in. The other option is to bring them down all the way down the end here and set something up like this, and maybe do them in there, do a couple side by side. But I reckon down in here is going to be a better option. So let's just turn this in here. I need to leave a bit of space at either end because I want to have some access in and around them. We've got the trees there at the back, which is kind of a nice little feature. What do you reckon? Maybe about there? Okay, one down there. Is that going to snap to it? We don't really want it snapping to it, do we? Or is that snapping to it deliberately? No, it must be snapping to it as an extension, is it? I didn't realise we could do that. But I want them far enough separated, so let's just do that there. I don't know whether we're going to need 3, but let's put 3 of them down while we're here, while we're at it, and while we're tidying things up and getting it all sorted out. There we go. Right, that's all done. We'll do a little bit of decoration so that we're not running around. Actually, it's under this one. We want to be doing some painting. Grab some gravel. There we go. Right, let's make our cursor a little bit bigger. We will just paint ourselves a little bit of a work area in front of here. Down the sides, we get rid of that bit of corn. There we go. Right. Change the shape there with that one. And bring that back down again. Right, so we've got a couple of options there. We can drive through that way, or we'll get rid of this and we can drive through here behind the back of the fuel bowser. Actually, that works out alright because that gives us a good way. We could actually redo that course, go around there, and I'm going to extend it all the way out this way and connect it up out on this road. There we go. Not the straightest, most elegant piece of artistry I have done, but I'll put that there. Display that in on both ends. And there we go. That should be good. Right. Is that going to be enough space? I might actually just make a little bit more space out in front. Just so when the trailers have some space to maneuver and back in and out and all of that sort of thing. Whoops, that wasn't meant to jump that way, but there we go. Right, tidy that up. Let's get rid of that bit of grass. There we go. That's alright, isn't it? 3 bunkers. It'll be interesting to see how full we can get them. And have a look. Nice handiwork. So the idea is basically we're going to set up 2 gangs, 1 in each field, and get a couple of trailers running on each. 2 trailers should be enough, I think, just because we're so close. But it depends how big we go and set all our equipment up. So let's go and sort out some equipment, have a look at what we're going to be using. So first things first, we'll start out here looking at our forage harvesters, see what our options are in there. Now, I think we have to have John Deere, don't we? Maybe John Deere and Class, or you go maybe John Deere and New Holland. I'm trying to think here. We're going to go for the biggest option we can. Some wide tyres running on there, and we will go for a long pipe. There we go. That's at $500,000. We're going to be running out of money again, so maybe we'll put those on lease. We might have to sell some of those tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of soybeans and make a bit of money. So we'll get that one. Go back into here. Look at our combination options. So we can go either 4.5, 6 meters, 7.5, or 9 meters. I'm going to go 7.5 rather than 9, purely because I don't want to have the forage harvester stationary and waiting. So we will lease one of those. So that's sorted out. Let's go back and have another look here. So the New Holland, it's only a 775 horsepower. So if we just go back and look at the combinations, we want to get the same width, 7.5 meters. It's only just going to run there on that one, but we'll push the limits. So we'll go through and lease that, put the New Holland badge on it just to make sure we're consistent. Here we go. Back into this. We'll lease this sucker as well. Wide tyres. There we go. Lease that. Right, perfect. So that's that all sorted out. Now we've got to get a few tractors. Got to get a couple for the compacting and leveling, and also some wagons as well. And there we go, there is our lineup. Got everything sorted out just as we're clocking up on the 2 hours. So we've gone green, got the John Deere this side, and the 7Rs running the dual wheels there. Cabelco trailers on the back. Always wanted to try running a 2-track tractor on a silage bunker. So we've got the Fendt 1100 MT there with the Hilarious blade on the back. Then down the other end, once again, got the New Holland forage harvester. We've stuck with New Holland T8s here, one with the tracks on the back, and then we've got the dual row crops there on this one, same trailers, and then again, just for something a little bit different, we're running the Primoth to try and work that on the silage bunker as well as our compacting vehicle. So interesting to see how that all goes. But like I said, we have just ticked over our 2 hours here on Missouri River Bottom once again. So keep an eye out next time. We will be getting straight into some forage harvesting. Still got the tillage going on, and we're still getting some lime spread. So it'll be interesting to see how many fields we can get done with that lime spreader across 2 hours next time around. But there we go. That is us done and dusted once again. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one.